All right, we got snipers, a nightmare for developers and players. Oh baby,
It's an Arch production.
it's Arch.
Every first-person shooter has a multitude of weapons to choose from. Pistols, shotguns, rifles, snipers, rocket launchers, and so on. But among those many weapons, there's one so fundamentally broken that even the biggest FPS game companies in the world don't know how to solve the issue. And the many different attempts made to balance the weapon can only be described as desperate.
Oh
The weapon I'm
baby.
talking about, which you most likely already deducted from the title of the video, is the sniper.
That hit. Ooh. Ooh.
Let's face it, a competitive shooter is not complete without at least one sniper for the player to choose from. The often glued-on magnified scope with the seemingly
that was a
missing
tight-ass
damage
peek.
drop-off allows the player to quite easily pick off.
Bro, the sniper just completely decimates the door in this game? Holy crap. I had no idea. I mean, dang, I watched the shotgun video first and I saw the little shotgun putting like little tiny holes with the slug in there. But a sniper just decimates an entire door. Whoa.
Targets on any range. In nowadays shooters, we often get to pick from two different kinds of snipers. Semi-automatics,
Yep.
often shrouded by the marksman rifle name,
Yeah.
a fancy term for snipers that are able to put multiple shots down range in a relative quick succession, compared to its counterpart, the bolt-action snipers. Heavy-hitting, slow-firing, often one-shotting monstrosities created by mankind. And this part
Yeah, and obviously there's like a little bit of blur between the assault rifle and the sniper in that you got the marksman. But I mean, you could put the marksman rifle and the bolt actions like in the same vein more or less, because the ranges on these are, I mean, yes, they're different, but when you're talking about a video game, they're about the same.
is where the issue seemingly no one can solve begins. To understand the issue better, let's say we are making a game. We finish the maps, iron out the movement, and now it's time to balance our game's iconic armory. A weapon can be balanced in 7 different ways. Damage, headshot damage, fire rate, range, vehicle control, mobility, and handling. Games often don't show all of these stats when showcasing a weapon for simplicity's sake. But this is basically where it comes down to. So, let's make an assault rifle. This assault rifle will be the core of our entire game, so we have quite the responsibility to bear. If we decide to give the gun a super strong time to kill, then we will have to balance all the guns around it in the same fashion. Same if we decide to make the gun weak, then the other weapons have to be on the same weaker side too. It's important to make this gun feel as nice as possible. So let's make it so it takes 4 shots to get a kill, 1 headshot with a body shot to kill, average fire rate, average range, easy to control, also average mobility, which basically means movement speed when equipped, and finally handling, which stands for aim down sight speed and other handlings of the guns.
I like this gun. This seems like a very balanced gun.
Awesome, the M4 is now done. But before we head over to another gun category, let's make an alternative to the assault rifle for the players to play with. And like every other game does, we will make a Kalashnikov. Super original, I know, but for
You know what's funny is, I don't know, I guess a lot of shooters would balance their game around the AR when thinking that this is like the most basic type of gun. But I don't know, it seems like in real life, more people have pistols. Like that's like your entry level of a gun. So why not? It seems like we just want to, like, devs just want to base it off of, like, balance everything off the assault rifle just because it's like it's cooler, and they know that's what players will migrate to. Players aren't gonna migrate to a pistol because a pistol is just like a little sidearm thing that you can just whip out whenever. But you know, like whenever you like get into guns in the beginning, most of the time you're spending a lot of time with like a pistol or whatever when you first get into guns and gun safety and all that stuff. But I don't know, that's just weird little thought.
some reason the players never get enough of it. Stats-wise, we shouldn't make it much different from the M4, as it's within the same gun category, but still different enough to make it feel distinctive, and not just a cheap copycat. So we up the damage, and to make it distinctive, we also make it so you can one-tap with the gun, like you would with the AK in CSGO and in Valorant. To keep the time to kill relatively the same to the M4, we also have to lower the fire rate. And boom, our second gun is done. Now we create the submachine gun for our game. Same damage numbers as the M4 and even higher fire rate, but at a cost, as the range is considerably worse. And for good measures, here is another submachine gun.
Oh dang.
Let's also make a marksman rifle for our game.
Bro, anytime, like, what is the Vector? And I forgot the name of this SMG. What was it? Was it the Mac 10, I think? In like Call of Duty? Bro, there's always like your balanced SMG, and then the one that had the highest fire rate, I would call that the angry SMG, because you would always go to that one whenever you felt that your shots weren't registering whenever you're playing a match. So like, oh, I'm playing the quote unquote the meta SMG. This is like either the fastest or the most damage or the highest damage per second SMG. But then there would always be like one or two SMGs where the fire rate would be way higher. But maybe the DPS wasn't there. But back in the day, we didn't have that information. But it felt good to shoot, because when you shot it, it was just like, and you could just empty your clip in like half a second, and it felt good to shoot. And whenever I played it, I was always pissed. I would always revert to this type of SMG when the meta one wasn't working for me. Oh my god.
Game. High damage, slow fire rate, and incredibly far damage drop-off. Not quite a sniper yet, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before we make the sniper, we have to make its counterpart, the shotgun. Super strong damage, capable of one-shotting even the tankiest opponents on close range. And it has to be on close range, because our range is hilariously bad.
Ooh, those are
fast
tiny.
Mobility and handling helps the shotgunner close the gaps where needed, making the shotgun a force to be reckoned with. Finally, we have the problem child, the sniper.
Oh.
Let's have a look at the stats, shall we? Yeah, so here is the issue. The sniper is just like the shotgun, a one-hit machine.
Yeah.
But the major difference being is that the sniper is a one-hit machine on any range, while the shotgun can only do it on close quarters.
Ooh.
But
so why would you ever use the shotgun when you can just use the sniper and just get good, more or less?
is this really an issue with the sniper class? And if so, how big is it and how can we possibly fix it?
Ooh, and on M&K. Ooh.
On long range, you could argue that it makes sense. The slow-paced playstyle of the sniper, who waits for an unexpected soul to walk into his sights, would be frustrating to play if you wouldn't kill your opponent with one hit. However, like I learned from my recent course I took, you can't always create a solid conclusion with just looking at it from your own perspective. Ask yourself this question. Is it fair that the moment you peek into a sniper's line of sight, you die? The seemingly undying...
Is it fair that the moment you're in the sniper's LOS, you die, provided that that person has good aim? I mean, there has to be some sort of win condition for the person that has the sniper. And I think a lot of the times, at least in modern FPSs, a lot of snipers don't even one-shot kill anymore. The main ones that do I think it's Counter-Strike and Valorant are the only snipers that one-shot kill. Other than that, I mean, I'm not sure about modern Call of Duty, whatever one they're working on right now. Like, was it Modern Warfare 3 and the one before it was 2? Kind of weird to say in 2023. I haven't even played those. I don't know what the snipers are like in those games, but a lot of the times, it's how it goes is that Call of Duty implemented, like in the beginning, it was just like body shot, and like if you shot somebody in the toe, it counted as a chest shot, and then just a headshot. So it was just divided up into body and head. But then as time went on for Call of Duty, they divided up the torso and the limbs and the head so that it would be depending on what sniper you used, it would be like headshot, torso shot, and then limbs. And then another iteration was that it was about the upper chest area, like shoulder girdle area was the head, counted as the head. Or what was it in Black Ops 2, I think? They one sniper counted it as like a headshot if you hit the upper chest area. So like neck / upper chest. And then everything else would be like lower torso, and then your limbs, respectively. And I guess that's one way to divide up different snipers as opposed to only having like one sniper, the bolt action. And then a lot of times back in the day, there would also be like a 50 cal. Like in old school Modern Warfare 2, like 2004, there were a couple, I think there were like 4. There was the intervention, the 50 cal, and there was like the speedy sniper, which shot faster than the Barrett. But then there was like another one that shot slower than the Barrett but faster than intervention. So yeah.
Player base.
But as far as your question, as long as you line up a shot, should a sniper one shot kill you? That's a good question. It depends. If you give every player access to the sniper, like Counter-Strike and CS, then I think it's fair to let the sniper one shot. But if you take that and put it into like a battle royale, like Apex, with the what's the sniper in that one called? Like the care package one. I haven't played forever. I forgot the name of it, but I remember they nerfed it so that it doesn't one shot anymore. Like before, it used to do like 150 damage on a body shot, and you could just kill somebody from a chest shot with blue armor. But they thought they came to the conclusion that that felt bad if you were on the receiving end, because it's like a random gun, and it was more or less like a luck factor. And when there's no counterplay to like an unlucky situation, such as being shot by a Kraber, then it feels it's cool as an audience to see someone get knocked from a Kraber because they just luckily got it out of a care pack. But as a player, it feels really shit because there's no counterplay to it. So I don't know. It's hard to answer your question.
Of Team Fortress 2 actually struggles with this question for a long time. The sniper, like the name might suggest, is made to snipe. In TF2, a game where your time to kill is pretty weak, especially on longer ranges, fighting against the sniper can be downright infuriating.
Oh yeah, and then also you have like Overwatch, and who's like the sniper lady, Widowmaker. I mean, you have to do like so many things just to be able to set up like a shot, like a one-hit kill. You have to get into a good position. You have to know where the enemy is coming from. Like, let's say the enemies are coming around like this, and like you can't see through this. They're just coming around. So you have to know your positioning. You have to know the enemy's positioning. You have to ADS, and there's like a little charge up time for you to get the one-shot kill, and you have to have just good aim. You have to flick on somebody. So just all those little factors alone make it, and plus the other team can just swap to like a Widow if they wanted to. So it honestly, it depends on the game, it seems like.
If you are on one side of the field and the sniper is on the other side, you just lose. I even asked my community on my other channel if anyone had a good answer to the solution, and most people just outright gave up.
This is very odd occurrence to be happening in Stardew Valley. You go peek them and instantly get punished for it. And I'll do it again. Oh man, I don't know, throw like a smoke or something. There you go, problem solved.
People know that peeking a sniper is a lost cause if they're holding you down from far away.
Yeah.
Is this fair? You could argue it is.
I mean, because again, it depends on like what game mode and what game you're playing. If the sniper is just camping up somewhere really far, but it's an objective-based game, well, then they're not protecting. They're protecting their objective from like a far away position. So if they miss that shot, well then they're SOL because you're on the objective. So and it puts them in the position where they have to ego peek the person on the objective.
After all, that's what snipers are made for. But the counter-argument is that the mere presence of a one-hitting sniper in your match is enough to scare people to avoid taking the big and more exposed routes on a map.
Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Just because as a sniper that one-hit kills in like whatever this game is was a Splitgate, that does not stop people from ego peeking. No.
For the sake of not derailing before getting to the biggest issue, it's better to say that it's probably balanced on longer ranges. Just like shotguns are one-hitting on close range, there's also a gun that one-hits on further ranges. And just like the sniper deters people from taking open paths, a shotgun announcing its presence on the map in its own way deters you from taking close quarter routes. So yeah, on long range, snipers are balanced, but only if the shotguns in your game have a 0 time to kill on close range.
Yeah.
And you might have guessed, in Team Fortress 2, they do not.
Jesus.
Now, let's take a closer look. As in, literally closer, as we're now on medium range. Because a bullet can't seemingly do more damage the longer it travels, the time to kill is still 0.
Yeah.
So if someone jumps in front of us with an AK, we still win, even though his gun is specifically made for medium range engagements.
Right.
And the same is with the SMGs on close range, with their even faster time to kill than the AK. SMGs are made to shred people on close range, yet the bolt action sniper still wins.
I mean, this is provided that the gun is, I mean, it's hit scan, and 9 times out of 10, most snipers, it doesn't matter if the gun is hit scan or not, but let's just say for the argument it is, and there's no like damage fall off, and it's consistent damage across all ranges, then yeah, then the sniper is going to beat both of these guns. And it depends on like the hip fire mechanics of the game too, but yeah.
Only if we grab the shotgun, there's a contender for us on close range. But here's my undoubtedly hot take. Bolt action snipers on close range are sometimes better than actual shotguns. Let's take a look at the recent Call of Duty title, Modern Warfare 2. A game with many assault rifles, shotguns, and one-hitting snipers.
Oh yeah.
A map notorious for having almost an entire area handcrafted for shotguns to be dominant in, Farm 18, can easily be occupied by one bolt action sniper.
These are actually really good peaks and flicks. That was pretty cool.
I won't get too much into the shotguns today, because that's really for another video dedicated to shotguns as a whole, but shotguns are close range weapons because of their bigger pellet spread and high base damage. Unfortunately, there's one issue with this. Because the gun...
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration, in order to make your gun do all that in Call of Duty, you have to level it up to gun level 100 just to get all the good attachments, because the good attachments are always at the end of the gun level, alright? So you gotta take that into account as well.
Is made with the idea to one-hit people on close range only, your damage drop-off is often unrealistically aggressive. It also doesn't help that if you don't hit at least 50% of your pellets on target, you might just not kill your opponent. This is done so on close range, you always have a way to contest the shotgun player. So how do we abuse its weakness? We hold a tight angle.
Ooh.
But here as well, there is an issue. The issue being that when holding tight angles, that you often only get to shoot one bullet, maybe two before someone runs past the angle. The human reaction time just isn't fast enough to immediately register someone running by.
Yeah, it's not.
So when someone runs by, we shoot our shot, hopefully tag him a bit, and then move out of the pixel angle to finish the wounded enemy. Here is the slightly bigger issue than before. We are playing against a shotgun. We lit him up, we swing out of cover, he turns around, and we die. He has to shoot us once, while we need to shoot him a couple times. It's not rocket science, just simple time to kill differences. But when we hold the angle with a sniper on the other hand, we shoot our shot, lit him up, oh wait, he's dead now.
Yeah, but nobody has a reaction time like that.
One hit killed him, and he was never in a position to kill us because of the tight angle. Right then. But Arch, I hear you cry. That is such a minor aspect of the close range engagement. And yeah, while that is correct, it's also not. True, if the shotgun and I run into the room simultaneously, it's technically easier for the shotgun to win, as you don't have to ADS with the shotgun to be deadly, while you do with the sniper. But if I'm already in the room and zoomed in holding a tight angle, I will win. It's not even close. I
Oh, yeah.
one-hit him and he dies. And if he does pre-fire me, which he can try, it won't kill me because not even 30% of his pellets hit me. And
Yeah.
don't underestimate how often we hold angles in video games. If you are not actively trying to contest a new area, you are holding an angle. So I don't think it's fair to call holding a pixel angle, the pinnacle of the many ways we hold angles, something you don't do very often. And on top of that, if he and I run into the room while in ADS, it's a fair fight. If anything, it's easier for the sniper to win because your bullet doesn't randomly spread out like the shotgun's pellets do. Which,
Right.
with some bad luck, can just get you to lose.
Yeah.
That is why the sniper could be stronger on close range than even
be.
the shotgun.
Could
A
be.
weapon made to be overpowered in the close quarters.
Drop it! Suspect DOA.
Okay, let's
All right.
recollect ourselves. A time to kill of 0 on any range, and a sometimes even better alternative for the shotgun. This can't be right. How do we let it go this far? And why oh why isn't everyone just straight up playing a bolt action sniper all the time? To have a better understanding on why no one
Well, that's actually a good question. Like, if this is the case, then why aren't more people playing snipers? In general, at least with Call of Duty, I would say most of the time the sniper is like the skillful gun because you don't have a lot of projectile growth on the bullet. So like the little cone of damage that's coming out of the gun is very is very small. And having to worry about like things like strafe speed or like protecting like tight angles or wide angles like you talked about earlier, those aren't really things that people take into account when they first start, playing in FPS. Those, like, you don't come to those realizations until like way later, or at least I didn't. I was a slow learner.
is able to properly balance the weapon, and why it's been a seemingly invisible issue in the FPS industry for dozens of years,
Yeah.
we have to travel back in time. Let's have a
Back
look
in
at the
time.
history of the first FPS titles that included the sniper.
Oh, here we go.
Most old-school gamers unanimously agreed that Quake, or
Quake.
rather its improved multiplayer-only version Quake World, started the trend of the multiplayer first-person shooters. Released in 1996, the game was a huge success on release, scoring a solid 9 to 9.5 reviews all over the place. The original game had a multiplayer support on release, but there were a lot of issues that made the gameplay feel laggy and unresponsive. So just half a year later, they released a multiplayer-only version with way better connectivity. I know, the original Doom was here 3 years earlier,
Yeah.
but that version of Doom doesn't allow you to freely look up and down, so I'm
Oh my god, the pistol was the sniper in this game, dude.
not going to get much into the details. Let's have a look at the sniper in Quake, and if it was already this broken back in 1996. Wait, no sniper?
Ooh.
An overwhelmingly positive reviewed game that doesn't have a sniper rifle? Players like to call the original Quake a child of the Doom series, and it's kind of showing. Doom 1993 didn't have a sniper, and Quake didn't go out of their way to make one either.
Huh,
So
I didn't
which
know that.
title set the unspoken rule of always having a sniper rifle in the FPS game? The next major title that the majority of the player base agrees on that shaped the FPS genre is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Released 2 years later in
Oh, dang.
1998, is a game focused on realistic gameplay and enemies only taking 1 or 2 bullets to drop. A game like this, priced for its realistic gameplay, surely must have a sniper rifle available for the
Bro, for the time, these graphics actually look decent, and the fact that they chose like bricks and like a, I don't know, like a cinder block building actually helps the graphics, because if you were to like look at like modern day CS2 and all the people turning the graphics all the way down, that image would not be too dissimilar from what we see right here. So I think they made a good decision with like the bricks and all this shit, like the building. It only kind of shows its age really whenever you look at the HUD or you're looking at like the models.
SWAT officers. Well, no, they do not. Shotguns, assault rifles, SMGs, pistols, all of them were already mainstream available during the early
What, the car? I'm thinking Titanfall. I was gonna say the car was a thing back in the day.
days, but the sniper apparently not yet. I tried doing some research why, and I couldn't find a good reason aside from a good guess. Older games are made with some hefty limitations. Render distances had to be near close for a playable 30 FPS,
yeah.
and if you're lucky 60. By having players run with a sniper with a massive zoom, it would mean that the game has to render things further away, which slows the game down to an unplayable 10 FPS if the player doesn't have a PC that isn't at least $1,000. It might also be that those games are just honestly better off without a sniper, as it takes 1 to 2 bullets to drop a terrorist anyway. Okay, this game must have a sniper. Counter-Strike. No, not Global Offensive, Source, or Condition Zero. Just Counter-Strike.
Basic
Released in the year
Counter-Strike.
2000, it was just like the previous games I covered, a massive success. And better yet, it didn't launch with 1 sniper, not 2, but 3 distinctive snipers to choose from. 2 bolt action, and 1 auto sniper, or like the CSGOers call it, Silver's best friend. Let's have a look at the 2 bolt action rifles, the Scout and the AWP. They are both guns that barely got changed over the last 22 years. Even in CSGO, the newest title on the Counter-Strike installment, the guns are basically identical. The Scout being the AWP's cheaper brother that can't one-hit people on the body, but does provide more mobility. Because of this, it's not really a popular choice, and only gets bought on rounds where they would like to low buy anyway to save money for the real guns, like the AWP. Our lovely one-hit machine on any range.
Any range and any body part, meaning as long as they stick their hand out and you shoot them, that'll still count as a kill. Which is kind of hilarious, but it's also very like satisfying to know that like limb damage doesn't make a difference.
Okay, interesting. Even in the first big FPS title that includes a sniper, it's a one-hit wonder. Meaning the sniper formula hasn't gotten changed after all these years. The thing is though, it's not really unbalanced in CSGO. Every team in CS plays often 1 AWP and 4 AKs or M4s. For some odd reason, they don't go for 5 AWPs, while the gun has an instant time to kill compared to the M4 and AKs. And
I have no idea why that is. It's probably to like maintain some sort of like consistent pressure. Like if you go through, I don't know, any like matchmaking optimization bullshits tactics with Counter-Strike, I'm just like yanking shit out of the air. It's probably to have like one guy that's like really good at aiming on your op, and then a bunch of other people to just maintain pressure and hold corners.
What is going on here? To understand the issue at hand, we have to do a jump back to early in the video where we defined the 7 values of the sniper. Let's see what we can change to make the gun balanced. Starting with damage. Instead of instant killing someone, why not lower it so it doesn't one hit in the body anymore? Like make it so you do a straight 99 damage. 1 point of damage below one-shotting someone.
Yeah.
It would mean that the time to kill is now roughly 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But this would make sniping extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
There is nothing more annoying than dealing 99 damage to your player just to die to him just after. It's just not fun. Plus, it would make the bolt action sniper a horrible choice over its semi-automatic brother, the marksman rifle, as they also 2-hit but shoot a lot faster.
Yeah. So if there's gonna be like a 2-shot coming out of this gun, you might as well just use that gun.
So damage we shouldn't really change, unless we want to make the bolt action snipers underpowered, which technically solves the issue, but also not really. Fire rate is next, and yeah, what can we do here? We can slow the fire rate from once per 2 seconds to once per 5 or even 10, but we can't upgrade the issue like we did with the damage.
Where did the fire rate go?
Idea. You shoot your opponent and kill him instantly, because your time to kill is still 0 MS, and then you have to wait 5 or 10 seconds to shoot your next bullet.
5 to 10 seconds for the next shot? There's no shot that's happening in any game. Like, even the Kraber from Apex, like the shot to shot, like cooldown, that is massive.
Meaning that a second guy that runs in within this time frame will kill you without a doubt. You can't defend yourself after all. Does that sound fun and fair?
No.
I mean, on close range, I guess it would punish snipers that get too cocky, but on long to medium range, where the sniper is supposed to shine, It makes for an awkward moment when you pick someone off and then have to wait before you can shoot someone else.
Yeah.
Slowing your gameplay down by a lot. And forcing you to sit as far away as possible to make sure you can reposition when you kill someone. It would slightly balance the sniper, but it makes them a lot less fun to play. Not to mention, if you are a confident aimer, it doesn't matter how long it takes to shoot your next shot, because you never miss anyway. There is never a possibility where you can get multiple kills quickly for that sweet dopamine hit that we all play games for. Because of this, I think it's better to leave the fire rate where it is now.
Just leave it.
It's by far the slowest in the game already, while keeping the gun engaging. We have to keep in mind, people, that fun and balancing factors are two completely different values that we.
Oh yeah, this is like the argument to end all arguments. The fun versus balance. Like, competitive players for any FPS, they want this, but casuals want this. And trying to find the balance of both of these is always going to be tough. I've gone through this many times.
We have to justify. If we would implement this change, we would barely nerf the gun while ruining the fun factor. A bad trade in my opinion. Range is another value that I don't feel like we should touch. If we would lower the range stat, we would only add insult to injury, as we would discourage people to use it for longer ranges and encourage them to use it for close and medium range, as we one hit on that range. Only reinforcing the issue at hand, so it's better to leave the stat untouched.
Ooh, what's he gonna touch? Gonna touch the recoil, mobility, the handling? Ooh, possibly.
So how about recoil? Let's just increase it by a ton. Oh gosh darn dilly, it's just that easy.
Yeah.
This is called sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah.
The mobility stat is, I guess, something we could change.
Yeah, but it's a sniper. Most of the time, it's kind of implied that your strafe speed and sprint speed are just going to be in the dirt.
The thing is, though, the gun already has a horrible mobility stat.
Yeah.
And lowering it even more, where you would basically run like a snail, is not fun, neither necessary for balancing. Guess our final hope is to balance the sniper using the handling stats?
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of could actually.
Yeah.
The slowest guns to ADS with in most games are the light machine guns and the snipers. And we could make it even slower for the snipers, so on close range, you can't quickly ADS to counter someone suddenly running in. But I know I'm repeating myself here. This also would make playing sniper feel really unresponsive, aka not fun. If this was also the way to balance snipers in games, every game would be doing this, but they do not. In Valorant and Counter-Strike, aiming down sights is basically instant. And even in titles where it takes longer, like in the Call of Duty games, it's honestly not that bad. Plus, keep in mind,
I would venture to say Call of Duty has figured out the sweet spot for all of these stats, for all of the different types of guns and subcategories of guns. Like, easily. Because Call of Duty has been around for, like, what, almost 20 years? Almost? Yeah, they've had so long to perfect the equations that we're trying to figure out right now.
That the moment we are scoped in, we are the same one-hit monster as before.
Oof.
So, well, I guess that's it. We can't balance one of these stats, or the gun would be annoying to play or straight up underpowered.
Yeah.
But we can change some variables. Pop quiz. What is the one thing a sniper almost always comes attached with? Tick, tick.
Oh, wait. Always comes attached with a scope? A stock? I don't know.
Tick, tick, tick. A magnified scope.
Yeah.
A scope is a funny thing. It makes it easier to pick off targets on further ranges, as you basically create a bigger hitbox to shoot. But at the same time, makes it way harder to track on the close range engagements.
Yeah.
In the game Valorant, the problem child of this video is called the Operator, which is often regarded as the noob gun because of the one-shot issue. But the truth is, if it wouldn't come with a scope attached to it, everyone would play it, because you no longer get the disadvantage you get when playing with a scoped gun. A disadvantage with the scope? How is that possible, right? It makes everything bigger, making them a bigger target. That's amazing. And yeah, while that is true on long range, on close range, it's actually downright horrible. When you
Oh,
zoom in, you don't actually
yeah.
move your camera closer to the target.
No.
Instead, you decrease your FOV, which stands for field of view. The higher the field of view, the more you see around you.
Mm-hmm.
The lower, the less. The downside of having a lower field of view is that you see less around you. You get tunnel vision.
Right.
If you are looking at the doorframe and holding it with a sniper,
Yep.
you basically force yourself to really focus on that doorframe. So if someone peeks you from anywhere else,
You're dead.
plus if you are positioned on close range distance of the door and someone swings you, they move incredibly fast across your screen because of how zoomed in you are on that
Oh, come on. You can hit that, dude. Easy. That's an easy hit.
spot. Just take a look at this example here. Here our opponent
Whoa. Hey. What do they always peddle in Counter-Strike and what do you call it? Valorant. They always peddle the crosshair placement. Oh, your crosshair placement was off. When you hold a corner this close, you're giving yourself so little reaction time. You could easily hit this shot if you put your position your reticle and hold an angle, provided they, I don't know, like if they're like committing to like the wide peak versus like the short peak. Like this is good if you know that person is going to commit to like a short peak, whereas if you don't know, then you might as well just hold it a little bit wider.
is moving relatively slow. While if you hold the door with an operator, he moves insanely fast.
Oh, yeah.
Which is insanely hard to react to. By forcing players to have a scope on the gun, you encourage long-range engagements while discouraging the close-range ones.
Right.
Perfectly balanced, I digress. It does make close-range engagements for snipers harder, but if you are playing against a skilled sniper player, they won't be in close-range distance anyway.
Right.
Because any experienced sniper player backs off from an angle as much as possible anyway. Even if it's a close quarters area, they will stick to the back wall to make sure they have enough time to react. And keep in mind, if that was the only thing needed to balance a sniper to match the assault rifles or the situational guns like shotguns, the amount of money needed in games to buy the sniper would be either the same as the M4 or cheaper. The difficulty getting a gun is also a variable we could change. However, this changing the price tag is also the seemingly only
Wait, hard to obtain or 2,500, easy to obtain or more money. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
way developers know how to balance a gun. Just slap a really high price tag onto it and call it a day. Or if you're making an arena-themed shooter, just place the gun in a high, hard-to-reach spot.
Yeah.
Okay, this doesn't have to be bad. Maybe developers want certain guns in their game to be overpowered. And in return, reward those who saved enough money or risk getting the gun in the hard-to-reach spot with an easier time. But that isn't the case in most shooters. And it just feels like a cheap excuse of a balancing tool because they couldn't figure out a better way to balance the sniper. Also, what if the game...
I mean, honestly, whenever it feels so far that the sniper cannot be balanced. And I think that's the whole point is like, if you're ever able to like, I mean, they even try to deal with this in Apex. Like a lot of the snipers, like just lying on the ground, they don't even one hit kill. What do you have? Like the Sentinel, the charge rifle, and like what's the speedy sniper? I forgot what that thing was called. The longbow. None of those snipers one shot either. Even with like full like purple attachments, like there's nothing to like really increase the damage. So, and to be fair, like none of those snipers really feel that good to play with anyway. Compared to like an op from Counter-Strike, which feels awesome to play with.
game you're playing in spawns you in with a gun of your choice. Something some relatively smaller titles like Call of Duty or Battlefield do. If you don't have a gun spawn or economy system in your game, this way of balancing is just not possible. Not to mention, while we try to prove having a 4-scope does balance the gun from super overpowered to just overpowered, those games do the complete opposite.
They push it
allow
over.
you to take off your magnified scope and replace them with the default iron sights or a red dot.
Yeah.
They even encourage taking off your scope, as having a scope adds a massive sniper glint and a major nerf to the ADS speed. The balancing teams of the bigger titles are so unsure about what to do with the bolt action issue that completely different balancing teams developed a completely different opinion on the scope's effectiveness.
Yeah.
Shooters like CSGO, Fortnite, and Valorant argue scopes do add to the better balancing of the weapon, while titles like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and PUBG argue it's the complete opposite, and having a big scope actually makes the sniper even more overpowered. So they reward players with
That's a really good point. Let me see.
Titles like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and PUBG argue it's the complete opposite, and having a
Okay. The scope is balanced for Counter-Strike, Val, and Fortnite. And it's having a scope is broken, like overpowered, in Call of Duty, Battlefield, PUBG. Huh. I actually never thought about it like that. I mean, it said in the beginning, it kind of depends on like the game or whatever. But this is, you know, high time to or low time to kill, like almost instant kill. Are the Fortnite snipers, like, do they also instant kill? Huh. And then Battlefield and Call of Duty, this, like, having a scope, I mean, and I haven't played any PUBG. I know it's been around forever, but I don't know. I just haven't played any PUBG. Having the scope on here for these games is broken. Huh.
A big scope actually makes the sniper even more overpowered. So they reward players with better handling if they run a non-magnified scope instead. After brainstorming for a couple hours, I came up with 3 possible solutions to balance the sniper in a way that it shines in the situations it should be shining. Solution 1. Originally, I was thinking, why not slow the ADS so much down so you force people indirectly to not push anymore? But then it hit me. Remember when I said CSGO players rather run one bolt action than multiple on a skilled team? It's the same in Valorant and other team-based shooters. You never run multiple bolt action guns because, well, it's hard to push an area with. While the gun does have a faster time to kill, it also has a slow movement accuracy recovery time, which is something CSGO applied to all weapons in the game.
Yeah, there's that little blurring of the crosshair in there. I mean, that's one of the main reasons I do not like playing tac shooters, to be fair. But, I mean, if you're also trying to, like, balance the sniper, I think the Overwatch version with, what do you call it? Purple Lady, Widowmaker. Like, you have a little charge time, and then, like, everything about it is speedy, but you have a little charge time that you have to stay scoped in on, and then it'll one-shot. I think that's, like, pretty fair.
And in a game where you can get headshot one-tapped by guns like the Vandal and Sheriff, the bolt action sniper kind of looks balanced. If you force your players to stand still to shoot, increase the price of the gun, together with, if you agree that a scope nerfs the gun, a scope with the slow accuracy recovery, and widely available guns that can one-hit kill you in the head, and ability/possibilities to quickly move to dodge a bullet, makes it kinda balanced. But that is if the sniper is pushing as an attacker. If he holds a site or area, the only thing that beats the sniper is an incredibly skilled shot or a flash coordinated with a peek. Not many choices to beat it on defense here, but apparently it's balanced enough for those titles. You might notice I'm not really too settled on this. I know there are better ways to balance a sniper than just making it harder to get and forcing every gun to be inaccurate while moving. But yeah, the first solution is basically changing your entire game to be just like CSGO or like Valorant. Then the sniper goes from overpowered.
Like, why would you want to homogenize all the shooters in that way? If you're trying to play like a sniper and you like the op or, I don't know, the operator, then just go play those games. Because, when you play those games, there's like a specific style of gunplay that you either do or don't like. So just play the game that you like the gunplay for.
To current player base acceptable. I don't like to call it balanced because I don't think the majority of the casual players in those games know how powerful a one-hitting sniper is.
It's really powerful.
Or they aren't skilled enough just yet to use it to its max potential. Think about it yourself. If you play a sniper, you have to position yourself differently, focus on crosshair placement even more, are unable to pre-fire angles, you have to really hit your flicks, etc, etc.
Yeah.
You have to play and use skills you don't utilize to the same extent with the other weapons. Anyway, this solution won't
All
cut it
true.
for me.
All true.
You would have to change way too much to your game, and if you don't want to make another CSGO ripoff, it just doesn't work. I want a solution where it's in the price/availability range of shotguns and assault rifles, while not being as deadly as one on close range.
Oh.
Team Fortress 2 Sniper, which I mentioned 6 pages ago, has an interesting mechanic. Hitting a headshot always does triple your damage.
Oh, dang.
The base damage scales with the time spent aiming down sights. When scoping in, it starts at 50 damage. So it's 150 a headshot.
Yeah.
Which means you are able to one-shot 6 out of the 9 classes in the head on any range. If you take 4 seconds to gradually fully charge, you one-hit anyone on any range in the head. As your base damage is now 150, meaning you can also kill once again 6 out of the 9 classes, but now also in the body with one hit. This mechanic of aiming down sights longer to charge up your shot is, in my opinion, a pretty good balancing tool. Here is what I'm proposing.
Yeah, the whole charge mechanic, I don't know, it just seems... It seems like the most balanced version of a sniper that you can get away with. Because, you know, you can sit there and charge the gun up for a second, and then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, it's like an intervention or like a bolt action or something like that. Or you can just rattle off shots and have it be like a speedy sniper. But you have to also take in the fact that you're not doing as much damage.
The price of the weapon, if you want an economy system in your game, should be the same as the shotgun. You always one-shot your opponent in the head, no matter what range or charge meter level.
Right.
But now the juicy part. The longer your ADS, the more damage a shot will do on close range. This concept is something I haven't seen before in a game.
Oh, wow.
Instead of charging your shot for all ranges or just long range,
right,
we do it for close range. Hear me out.
Oh, that's so weird though. It's not really that intuitive because it's actually counterintuitive. Like, if you're gonna go with the fact that you do that whole field of view narrowing, then who in their right mind is gonna walk up to a door in like ADS with a sniper? That doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a good try, but I don't know. I don't know about that one, dude.
Let's say 4 seconds to fully charge your shot. The first second, it doesn't charge, and you do 100 damage on the longer ranges. Which, yes, means you one-hit enemies, but that is once again completely fair if your shotguns are one-shotting too. Uncharged, we do 75 damage on medium and 50 on close range. 1 second later, all damage is increased by 25. So the long range damage is 125, medium on 100, and 75 on close. Meaning, if we take 2 seconds to aim before contesting, we can one-hit kill the assault rifle that contests us on the medium ranges. And 2 seconds is almost the same as their time to kill. The 4th and final second all deal enough damage to one hit in the body. I know this sounds like a very wild and somewhat unrealistic idea.
Yeah, because depending on what type of game you're trying to make, it's like the longer you have to stay aim down sight, it promotes camping as opposed to moving around. And if you're going to just sit there in ADS, then you might as well just go play something like Counter-Strike or Val. I don't know.
But I think any form of less bullet damage on close range is actually really balanced and discourages players to not push on close range all the time. And hey, we don't even need to punish the players for having a scope or rather not having one. By taking this approach, we make the sniper the complete opposite of a shotgun, while keeping the possibility to, in the name of self-defense, one-hit opponents on close range by hitting a headshot, and a body shot if you're holding an angle for at least 4 seconds. If you aren't sure that forcing to be scoped for longer is enough to balance the snipers, think about it like this. If your game has flashes or throwable grenades, which, let's face it, all games nowadays have at least some kind of tactical ability that does that, you can force the sniper to unscope to look away or to move, meaning they have to recharge their shot. It also means that on medium range, the sniper's time to kill from unscoped would be the time to ADS plus 2 seconds. Slightly slower than the assault rifle, and that is fine since you missing one shot means game over anyway. It keeps that I have to hit my shot mentality, while not making it unbalanced. And keep in mind, if you just hit head, you won't be dead, no matter what range.
Yep, just hit heads. Easy.
The final approach I have for the bolt action issue is just really simple, and that is simply make it so you're magnified even more. If you have a 20 times magnification on your gun, it will be really hard to focus on close range engagements. Even on medium, it will be quite tough, but it will be doable. This only works, however, when you're really inaccurate when hip firing. So you have to look through the scope, or you won't be able to hit the broadside of a barn.
Oh, look at how realistic this is. Having the hip fire on the sniper just be completely random and barely even just staying on target.
I'm not really sure how fun the weapon will be, but it is a solution. So, which FPS game has the worst balanced rifle, and which, in my opinion, has the best? Without a doubt, the most broken snipers are in the Call of Duty series.
Yeah.
You can choose from many snipers, and if you grind the attachment out just a little bit, you can one-shot opponents while speeding through the air. It's ridiculous and just downright feels unfair and frustrating.
Bro, this is not even a sniper. That's a shotty.
Play against. I think. But hey, I know it's not much, but Call of Duty is known for having balancing issues. The best balanced sniper in
whenever you play Call of Duty, you're not looking for a balanced experience, okay? That is just simply not the case.
FPS is the sniper in TF2. Specifically, I would nominate an alternative weapon of the New Zealander, the Bazaar's Bargain. It takes extra long to charge up the shot, which is a mechanic I'm really fond of if you haven't noticed. But in return, the bigger your headshot kill streak, the faster you charge up your next shot.
Oh, a little snowball effect. That is actually kind of intriguing. I kind of like that.
A short max duration of 1.8 seconds to charge up if you have 6 skills. It rewards the players with skill, while still giving newer players ample opportunity to retaliate. Let me know in the comments section which sniper rifle and FPS you think is the worst, and which is the best. Concluding the video, snipers are an unbalanced hot mess. While big groups of players seem to be fine with the bolt action snipers in games like Valorant and CSGO, I think, and I know there are many out there that think the same, that the snipers aren't quite there yet. If developers go for my second solution, which...
So a lot of these games have a humanoid, or you know, the targets are just people. You know, they have a head hitbox and a body hitbox. But what about something for like diabolical? All right, where the bodies are just like circles and you got like your little arms and legs and so on and so forth. I guess you could apply that same thing. Like you have a little head hitbox, like, I don't know, circle right there in the center or something, have a little target. But I don't know. I think that'd be like intriguing to like apply this to something like diabolical.
Just the longer charge equals more close range damage idea, I think it would certainly remove the frustrations most players have with the snipers, meaning more fun, while also making the gun more skill based with its always one-shot headshot mechanic, while simultaneously keeping it casual player friendly with its charge mechanic for close or the medium range engagements. I'll be honest, it's not the perfect and most realistic idea, but will make bolt action snipers the long range gun truly made for the long range players. Hell, by doing this, we can definitely lower the cost and up the ADS speed of the sniper, which makes them feel even more responsive and even more fun. Finally, this is the part in the video where I humbly ask you to consider subscribing. And if you want to be guaranteed notified when I upload my next video, also consider hitting the bell button. Tell me what you liked and didn't like about the video in the comment section. I value all of them. And if you want to see more Arch content or Arch content, you can find the links in the comment section. I sincerely hope you enjoyed my first video, and keep going.
Dang. That was actually a good ass video. I mean, there are a couple games that I don't know, it just feels good to play the sniper. And like, not gonna lie, Call of Duty like has like the best feeling snipers. Just because they're so responsive. Once you unlock all the attachments that, you know, after you get like gun level 100 or whatever. I mean, Counter-Strike snipers feel good. Valorant snipers feel good. I mean, even like Doom Eternal, there wasn't a sniper like gun. Wait, was there? I mean, there were like guns that had kind of a like sniper-esque things going on. Like the AR, what was it called? There was like a mod on the AR where you could like, you scope in and you just take a sniper shot to like some demon's like weak point and it blows it off. And that thing felt really responsive and good. And what was it? There was like some sort of like beam gun also in there that kind of did the same thing as a sniper. There's a scope on it. You click and, you know, it's like a instant chunk of damage or whatever. I don't know. Good video though, definitely. I mean, I do get it. They are a nightmare for developers to try to balance, and I don't know. I think you did a pretty good job of trying to tackle it. But yeah, good stuff, man. And I honestly want to see like the other like gun categories. That's what I'm excited about. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.